Deepwater Horizon. Ironically, I was in New Orleans around the time that this was destroying the Gulf. At the time, I had a BP credit card. So I was in New Orleans while the blowout was happening using the BP credit card. Ironically, service was still very good because you pay at the end of the day. I only had one person actually confront me about it, and that was for a haunted history tour. They were like, "Oh, do you work for them?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, the credit card just has nice benefits." She's like, "Well," she goes, "Well, you're paying me directly, and they're paying us again anyway, so I guess it's fine." This has Mark Wahlberg. Yes, so Marky Mark and Jane the Virgin. This film is probably one of the best true, based on true story disasters I have ever seen. The beginning is slow. I mean, it's people going to work. It's slow. And then they get on the rig. And there's these little tweaks to the tension. Ever so slightly. So you can tell that the pressure is building. I was like, oh man, that's a perfect metaphor for the film. And when it hits the point where effectively the mud hits the air, from that point to the end of the film, that is intense. I mean, there's so many moments where it's like, they've introduced enough of the characters where it's just walk past like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And those little, "I got this for your daughter," those little moments where you get just enough care for a character that when bad things start happening, you're like, "Oh man, is he gonna die? Are they all gonna die?" And it hits a level where it's a near constant, we have to do this or worse thing's going to happen. People are they're running for their lives all over the place. And then I probably say the last like 10 minutes of this film are rough. I mean, it's rough. When they got the survivors in the boat and they're doing the roll call, and not everyone is saying here, so you know that means that people died. And if you know the history of the event, you know how many people died. And then, when the film proper is done, they show bits and pieces of the C-SPAN, where it's, here's the person this film was based off of. Here's photos of people who played other characters. Now, of course, the guy looks nothing like Mark Wahlberg, and his wife looks nothing like Kate Hudson. And they show bits and pieces of that testimony. And then they show you the pictures of everyone who died. And that gets you. And I was like, you watch the film, you're like, oh, that's a really great action film, an amazing disaster film, oh, great drama to it. But then when it's like, here are the people that died, it really drives the point home. This is a film this film would probably have been almost impossible to see in theaters, because when it happens and it's just the disaster portion, which is about half the film, pretty much. Yeah, that's. Oh man, that is something that's hard to get through, because it's white knuckle intense. Period. Very well done. Definitely worth seeing.